Remember that. It's binary. It's either it is your primary residence or it ain't.
Yeah.
And so if you're selling that second home, that house up in Utah, you're selling that one, you're going to be subject to capital gains.
This is Las Vegas Real Estate Now with local real estate expert Harvey Blankfeld.
Let's say you lived in it for 2 years, but it was 7 years ago. Okay,
right.
And then you've converted that house to a rental, and so that was in 2016 and 17. Say you lived in it, but now it's been a rental since then, and now you're like, hey, I want to sell it. We're going to take that and we're going to move out of state or whatever. Well, then you need to take. It'll be long term. Let's say you've been renting it. It'll be a long term capital gain for most of the house.
Right.
Except for there's a partial depreciation recapture on that.
Right.
And when you're renting your house, you always want to make sure that you're depreciating it, because the rules that the IRS have is you have to reduce the basis or the offset of your gain calculation.
Right.
You have to reduce it by the amount of depreciation that you have, that you took, or you should have taken, or you could have taken.
So even if you didn't take it?
Whether you took it or not, the IRS still requires you to reduce it by that amount. So
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that one.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Do it. So the IRS, I mean,
Okay.
it doesn't always come up unless there's an audit, but when there's an audit, it's a real sticky situation if it's not right.
So effectively, you're required to take the depreciation.
Yes.
And then, is there any
And so the depreciation reduces the basis. So if you bought it for $200,000, you've depreciated it for $100,000, and you only have, and you sell it for $400,000. Well, you have a gain of $300,000, not a gain of $200,000.
Right.
Even if you didn't want to depreciate it, that depreciation is gone.
So you can't take it later.
You can't take it later.
You got to take it when you're supposed to take it.
Right.
Wow, that's new to me. I'd never heard that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It dissolves the basis.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. So by all means, if you have an investment property, make sure you're depreciating it.
Yeah,
Yes.
Take advantage of that for sure.
Yeah. Don't shortcut it and think you found a loophole. That's not a loophole.
Okay. Interesting.
Well, because a little bit is in my mind is I'm borrowing from tomorrow for today in that depreciation, knowing that they're going to wash it back against my final gain.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just lowering my tax basis today and increasing it tomorrow.
Exactly.
But the thing about the rent is you change it from ordinary income rent to capital gain, which is 20% capped.
Right.
So if you got a differential on your ordinary versus cap gain income tax rates, if you're at 37%, you can convert it to 20.
Wow.
On that
That's a really smart point. Okay. I follow that.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes sense. Hey, we learn all the time here. That's what we
sure.
do. I learn all the time. I mean, I had
It's
no idea.
usually non-consensual when it comes to taxes, but you learn. I mean,
The compulsory nature of the tax code is they say it's a voluntary tax code until an issue comes up.
You can
then
learn-
it's compulsory.
You can learn the easy way, or you can learn the hard way.
Yes.
Absolutely. All right. Well, good. Okay. So again, so what about a second home, Todd? So a second home's treated like an investment. If it's
Second home, if it's not been your primary residence, it's subject to long-term capital gain rates, and that as long as you own it
it's
for more than a year.
binary from the IRS's point of view. It's either a primary or not, right?
Right. There's
Okay.
you only have one primary residence.
Okay.
And you can only have one per taxpayer or per couple.